I'm Tommy Dee from the KnicksBlog.com, and with the NBA Finals in the rearview mirror, it's time to look at one of my favorite days, the NBA Draft, and one of my favorite NBA Draft experts is with us. He's Jon Wasserman from NBADraft.net. How's it going, John?
Good, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, pleasure, man. Now, let's work under the pretenses that the Knicks are not, despite rumors, they're trying to move up. Let's work under the pretenses that they're going to stay at 48, okay? We have a top 5 list that you came up with that you were kind enough to say, these are the guys who I think could be around.
That's right.
You looked at 2 specific positions, which I agree with. They definitely need help shooting the ball and having guys make shots, and they definitely need help at the 4. We don't know what's going to go on with Jared Jeffries' good upfront depth.
Right.
So as we look at the first example, number 5, you have Hollis Thompson, junior forward out of Georgetown.
Well, Hollis Thompson, he shot 43% from downtown for 3 consecutive years, and that shows unbelievable accuracy and consistency over a large sample size. He just measured in at 6'8" at the NBA Combine. Shows he can play a little stretch 4, he can play the 3, he can play the 2. He's much more athletic than he's given credit for. Based on the system he was in at Georgetown, which is a motion offense. Kind of the ball movement provides the shot creation there, and he didn't get an opportunity to showcase his athleticism in the open floor and show what he could do other than just spot up from downtown. He's again, a much better athlete. He can finish in transition. He can run the floor. He's got great body control, attacking the rim. And again, NBA range out to 25 feet and 43% from downtown for 3 consecutive years tells you a lot about what he could do as a spot-up threat and a target in the drive and dish game for Jeremy Lin.
That's a great example. The second one, a guy who I really like out of Marquette. I like Jimmy Butler last year, certainly Wes Matthews. You know, Buzz has done a great job down there, or over there in Marquette in producing pros. Darius Johnson-Odom.
One of my favorite players to watch in all of college basketball last year, and I'm a Big East guy, so I got to see a lot of Darius Johnson-Odom. And what stands out about him, first off, other than the fact that he shot 40% from downtown for his career, and he averaged 18 points a game, is the fact that he played in 35 games this year. He scored 17 points in 25 of them. So he's not a type of guy who's going to score 25 one night and then 4 the next, and then 30 one night and then 7 the next. He was a constant in that offense, a reliable source of production, great shot maker, which is what the Knicks could use. He could play some of the 1, he could play off the ball, he could defend the 1. He's got a great basketball body. I mean, when you go to the beach, you want to look like Darius Johnson-Odom. He looks like he belongs in the NBA, and whether he's a fit or not, he's just someone with high character that you want to bring off your bench. He's going to provide a sense of toughness, and the fact that he could defend, play off the ball. He's versatile, incredibly likable player. He's humble, but at the same time, he's driven and competitive, and that's something you really like to have in a part of your backcourt in terms of depth.
I don't like the idea of the guy's a tweener, he's too small for this or that. I just like basketball players.
Exactly.
And Kenneth Faried is a great example, a guy who was a basketball player and had a great rookie year.
Kenneth Faried measured 6'6" in socks last year at Portsmouth, but again, you can't teach instincts. And that's what a guy like Darius Johnson-Odom has, a guy like Kevin Jones, who we're going to talk about in a little bit, instincts. And sometimes you just have to throw out the numbers and say, this kid can play basketball.
That's it. Got another guy who's got good instincts, who I got a chance to see down at Portsmouth. Draft Express had a great things to say about Kim English from Missouri, a guy who can definitely knock it down from outside.
Well, what I love about Kim English is that his role is defined. We know what type of player he's going to be. He's a specialist. That's what he was his senior year at college at Missouri. For the first 3 years of his career, he shot 37%, good numbers. His senior year, that went up to 45%, and he increased his attempts. That shows growth in confidence. And at the same time, his ability to stretch the floor and provide, again, targets for our more ball-dominant scorers. It should be a perfect fit, and the fact that he doesn't require the ball, and again, it's the same role he played in college. It should be an easy transition process for Kim English.
Certainly, to get paired with Carmelo Anthony, that's somebody that's something that the Knicks really need to focus on. That's surrounding Melo with his type of players. Another guy who I really like, who's a veteran who can easily be plugged in, William Buford from Ohio State.
Buford's one of my favorite players, and he's flown completely under the radar. And I think it's because of basketball enthusiasts and nitpickers like us who see, he's averaged 14 points 14 points a game 3 years in a row, and we haven't seen that gradual increase in terms of scoring margin from a year-to-year basis. Shows that his ceiling might be capped. This might be the player he's going to be for the next 10 years, kind of deflates some of the excitement. But at the same time, we don't need excitement. We already have that with the Knicks. We need someone who could score off the ball, and that's his biggest strength is William Buford. He played off Jared Sullinger. He played off Evan Turner. He's more comfortable in a complementary role. He understands how to position himself alongside a more dominant scorer. He could slash off the ball. He's a two-way player, 6'6", good athleticism, mid-range guy, career 38% shooter from downtown. And I really think he's going to be a nice shot maker, and he provides a sense of reliability at a position where we're uncertain with Shumpert's injury and with Landry Field's inconsistencies and J.R. Smith's contract.
And what I like about Buford, most importantly, is playing off of a post player in Sullinger, who was the best post player in college basketball, as far as I was concerned.
I agree.
And being able to play up-tempo as well, which is what the Knicks want to do on both ends. Definitely a good fit there. And lastly, number one, a guy who I've watched since he was in 8th grade up in Mount Vernon, a Westchester kid who I think really could add a great element to the Knicks with the question mark of Jared Jeffrey's legs. One of the best offensive rebounding prospects I've seen in a long time, who can also stretch it out to the perimeter. That's Kevin Jones of Mount Vernon.
Kevin Jones,
or West Virginia, rather.
Kevin Jones had a huge senior year. He increased his scoring average by 7 and his rebounding average by 3.5, playing generally the same amount of minutes. So that shows he really turned the corner. The switch clicked, whatever happened. What I love about Kevin Jones is, again, his instincts, and you can't teach that. He averaged 4.2 offensive rebounds per game. That's good for 3rd in the country. And not only does he grab offensive rebounds and track down loose balls, but he converts second chance opportunities at an extremely high rate, which is very satisfying, as a fan to see that happen. And he's also expanded his game out to 20 feet. He looks comfortable in pick and pop situations, which is a potential option for the Knicks they could use in the pick and roll game. And again, even though his numbers don't suggest it, he looks much more comfortable spotting it from downtown, and more confident. And I really think he could add a new dimension to that Knicks second unit as an active body in the paint and a relentless presence on the offensive glass.
The Knicks have some needs. You just identified 5. Be happy with. I think fans should be happy with any one of these 5. John, as always, keep up the great work. Look forward to speaking with you next time.
Great. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
And remember to get all your information on the Knicks and the 2012 NBA Draft. Check out the knicksblog.com, part of the SNY.TV blog network. I'm Tommy D. We'll see you next time.